congrats on the Grammys.
Thank you.
Where are the Grammys? Where do you keep them?
Where are the Grammys?
Asking for
right
a friend.
now, right now they're on this dining table in LA, but they're going to be in a nice display case when I get back to New York.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to go display. So you live in LA.
Yeah, well, no,
You have a place
I
in-
have a place in LA, but I live in New York.
When you take those back to New York, or when you carry them, do you check them in?
No, I'm
they-
going to be holding them to the airport.
You're gonna be-
I'm going to be holding them. No.
I'm imagining you in your seat, holding on to the
Right.
ground. We're fine.
Anyway. Would you like me to put? No, it's fine.
It's exciting for you though right now, right?
It is. It's crazy, honestly.
I'll tell you, as a radio person and as a guy who was stuck in the 90s, I'll say thank you, because we need this.
Thank
we
you.
need this music, and I'm obsessed with, New Edition, Brian McKnight, Tony Rich, and all this music that you feel like the only way we get it now is when New Edition, Brian McKnight, or Tony Rich tour. So to have this fresh, look on that sound is so nice. But it's a little bit of it's a risk though, isn't it?
I guess so. I definitely, when I first started out, kind of found my sound within what was going on in R&B as far as like the alternative trap sounds, kind of finding myself in that world. And now that people know who I am and have kind of taken on this journey with me, now I feel like I can take them anywhere and they can elevate with me, so that, now that I'm at that point of making songs like Hard Place and making songs that are a lot more musical, when people see my live show and then hear the first volume, they're like, oh, this is more than what we thought. A lot of people say that. So it's just about bringing people with me on this journey.
And but it's so different than everything on the radio, especially.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's how does that break through? How does that get through? How do you break through with this type of music through what's there now?
Well,
and break through the planes, especially with younger.
For me, the goal is to be genreless. I think I'm R&B at the core. That's who I am.
Sure.
But Hard Place is one of those songs, when you hear it, you think it's like a Lauryn Hill vibe. Maybe, you hear like a classic kind of drum loop.
Kind of that spearhead drum loop in it, yeah.
Yeah, but you hear like an acoustic sound. So it's got like a singer-songwriter vibe, but it's R&B. And then when you hear it live and I do a guitar solo, it's electric and it's hints of country even and rock. So I think there's something for everybody in there, even lyrically. There's something that everybody can connect with and hold on to. And I think that's what makes a song like that cut through. And even if it's so different, there's pieces of nostalgia, there's pieces of familiarity,
It's sounds that shouldn't go together.
Yeah, right. But somehow they do.
They really do, and it becomes this weird thing for your brain where it's just like, wait, that's not supposed to be there. There's certain chords, even the way the song ends, with the way you sing the chords at the end are different, and it's just there's something in it that is, and again, not to bash current music, but it's different than what's there now.
Yeah, thank you.
There's not a copy paste for 3 minutes on Pro Tools, copy 8 bars and then paste that for 6 minutes. It's just there's everything in it, and lyrically, it's an interesting song. Tell us about the concept of the song, what the song is about.
Yeah, a lot of people have connected to it in different ways. For me personally, it's like knowing what's good for you and what you want, and what you need, like the difference between what you want and what you need, and kind of being torn between somebody's love, like, being able to live with, not being able to live with someone, but then not being able to live without them,
right.
And that kind of like torn feeling, and it's probably worse being with them than it is without, but you don't want to go through that hard.
It's exhausting.
Thing, right? It's exhausting, so emotionally exhausting. So a lot of people have connected to it in different ways, but.
And it's funny the way you sing some of the lines, because when you listen to the lyrics of the song, there's lines in it that normally somebody would be saying angrily. But the way you're singing it soft, and it's God, it's such a hard way to explain. It's such a conflict of emotion in it, because you're saying things that should be said angrily, but you're delivering them soft, like telling me to relax when I'm trying to react. It's like, first of all, you don't tell anyone to relax.
Right, when they're
especially a lady. You don't tell a lady to relax when she's getting mad.
Absolutely not.
That's the worst thing. But you just calmly and say, don't do that.
It's a sarcastic kind of thing.
Right. There was a couple of lines that I wanted to write down too. That was, I'd rather fight and lose sleep at night, but at least you're mine. That's
That's that torn feeling.
Yeah.
That's that, like, hey.
And that's even deeper than the whole, that, like, torn. Because that's people staying where they shouldn't stay.
Right.
Especially even if it's like a bad situation.
Right,
like
right.
Violent sometimes. But, man. But that relax while I'm reacting.
Yeah.
It's cool to have support from these big artists.
It's really cool.
It's great to have that, but now when you look at like the poster for Essence Festival and all this, I mean, now you're up there with Mary J. Blige, right?
On the main stage.
You're
crazy.
side by side with Mary J. Blige on this poster and
Yeah.
stuff like that. What is that? That's
feels crazy, to be honest with you. I look up to Mary. I look up to so many artists that have been on that stage before me. So to be after them, it's like a dream come true. It's almost reassuring, like we all have our doubts, especially when you're creative and you're doing what you love, but we're sensitive about our art. I'm sure all artists can relate. It's like, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Sure.
That's what it feels like.
Are they helpful? Like, do they come and talk to you, or do you have like?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you have like Missy's number or anybody's number where you're
Yes.
calling them up, going, hey, what did you do for this? Or,
It's definitely, sometimes I try to reach out and take that piece of advice, and yeah, I'm definitely an observer, so I watch from afar and just I try to keep up and take in as much as I can.
who is it? Who's probably the closest to you as far as helping you and guide you like that? Who's that mentor that?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people I've taken a few pieces from, but Janet is somebody who I look up to, who actually came to my show and told me, oh, you got me through my pregnancy and things like that, like just insane. But even Alicia
Janet,
Keys,
an artist who most people say to her, you got me through something,
right,
is saying that to you.
Exactly. That's insane.
What happens to your body at that point?
I know. I'm like, what? No.
Right. It's like, I need a minute.
Exactly. Alicia Keys. But there's a lot of different artists Drake, who I look up to, that
Sure.
are always, heavy supporters.
Who do you watch when you do these festivals? Because I know you're doing a lot of these shows where they have huge lineups like that. Who are you watching when you're not performing?
I just saw at Coachella. I just saw Anderson .Paak, who's incredible live. I just saw Childish Gambino, who I did shows with in Europe actually. His show was like insane. It's next level, But Janelle Monáe was really dope. The 1975, who I absolutely love.
Cool.
I'm a huge 1975 fan. So.
What do you pull from a band like that?
They're rock stars,
Yeah.
and I play guitar. So the light show, the way he interacts with the crowd, even his message is like. They had like this big sign that says "Rock and Roll is dead," but they're a rock band. So they're trying to make a statement there.
Sure.
There's like that sarcasm. That I really admire.
Do you watch little things like when they are doing like a solo? Like, where do they walk? Like, are they walking this way? Do you accidentally turn your back to the crowd? Do you kind of watch their maybe accidental choreography or whatever they're doing?
Not even the choreography, but just like the effect that they have with their movement,
Right.
on the audience, and like those subtle things, like you said, like the way, but it's not like a technical thing. It's not even like a 1-2, like I could calculate this. It's just a feeling that you get, that you have to observe. Like,
Sure.
How do they connect? How can I bring who I am out on that stage?
Because that has to be interesting when there's parts of the song where you may not be singing. What do you do during that time? There has to be some kind of plan, at least, where I want to be over here when I start singing again, or the next, when this 32, because a 32 count when you're not singing, that's a long time.
I'm talking to the audience,
Yeah?
or there's stuff going on in the band. Musically, it has to everything has to balance out.
Yeah, those little things. It becomes obsessive ever? Does it?
No,
No?
That's part of making a show great.
Because I watch that stuff. I pay attention to. And I bring the New Edition up again because I'm like diehard, but just the fact that there's 5 or 6 of them on stage at one time, because you never know if Bobby Brown's going to show up. 5 or 6, yeah. But they never seem to kind of bang into each other, or they always seem to. It just always seems it's like accidental organization. It makes it look like that, and it
goes
cool
back to that
see.
feeling. Goes back to that feeling, then that's why you can't be obsessive, because when you start to overthink it is when it's too calculated and it looks robotic, as opposed to making sure the band is tight. I always say this, like, for me, my band, what I look for in my band and my show is like the tightness of James Brown, but like the freedom of a Parliament, the freedom of you name it, you know,
Right.
whoever's like super free on stage, definitely like Parliament, you know, but I think
Yeah, they are. Sometimes
it's
when
like
I'm on the stage.
right. I think it's a balance between the two, you know, when you rehearse, you know what you're supposed to do, and then you just let the rest go. You just let the music do whatever it does and just feel. That's what it is.
That's cool. That's good. Are you doing a big tour after this? The festivals? Because I know you have a lot of
Yeah.
festivals and stuff.
I have to get my album done first,
Yeah.
and then I'll be on tour. Finding time to create it, you know.
Where do you work on
I'm
that?
busy now.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I mean, mostly New York. That's where I really love to work. That's where I live, and that's where I think the vibe is. But I love Nashville. Nashville's one of my favorite places to
Cool.
write. I like writing with even like country writers because it's just a different vibe, and I like to talk about the story and, you know, play guitar and
Right.
just talk.
Just all over the place.
Yeah.
Making songs in the green room.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming in. Real quick,
Thank you.
while you're in LA, was there certain things that you do, like that you love to do when you're in LA, when you're in town, not working? Don't say work. Don't say I got to go to the studio and work. What do you like to do? Are you a theme park? Are you a Disneyland? Are you
I never
going?
have time, but Bossa Nova?
Yeah?
Is that a thing? Like, I think everybody when they come to
It's a restaurant, right?
Yeah, that's like the late night spot.
You don't know? I'm looking at you like you might know.
Bossa Nova, it's a late night spot. Everybody
Okay.
goes there. That's
Got
like, yeah, that you have to go.
That's where you unwind and relax,
Sure, yeah.
which is never. All right. I'm going to go let you relax right now, but thank you so much.
Thank
Come
you.
by again, please.
All right, I would love to.